Welcome back on the streets again. This is the kind of street action I really like. I like it when a conversation starts, other people start gathering around, and then before you know, we get into a Brew HaHa, and that's what this is. It's a Brew HaHa, I guess. I get a little off the rails for a while there. Some guy gets a little disrespectful, and I just kind of slam him for that. Other than that, this is a pretty good street, town square kind of talk that I like to get into out there. So I hope you enjoy this one. We cover a lot of things, everything from the illegal immigration to the banking system to NASA. It just gets on and on. Different people coming in and out. So this is what I like doing out there. And if you like me doing this out there, you know what to do. You go ahead and like this, you share it, you subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and you subscribe again if you have subscribed, because they'll knock subscribers off. They do it all the time. And if you can support me, please do, because on this particular day, it was, even though I had some great conversations, I was out there for 6 hours and didn't make $20. That's pretty sad, guys. That doesn't hardly pay for the day at all, considering all my expenses out there, my travel expenses, the business cards, the prints, the upkeep of the cart, the average. There's a whole bunch involved with this, So if you can, go ahead and support me. Go ahead and get one of my designs. You can go to Threadless there, badassunclesam.threadless.com, or if you want to direct contribute, you can just do that through PayPal, through my email address, badassunclesam76 at Gmail. So, without further ado, let's get to this one. So it's fairly long, and it's a lot of fun. So God bless you guys. Welcome on board. Here we go.
You know what the problem is?
Oh, tell us.
I speak the truth. That's the problem. Nobody wants to hear the truth,
So you're speaking to the choir here, man.
I'm at a loss for words once in a while. I thought you were the man.
Your thinking's messed up. You're drinking too much in the daytime. That's why it's happening.
Oh, Bud, you drink Bud for wiser answers.
Asshole.
Mooch and liberal, tip for a pick.
No, boy.
Yeah. Didn't expect to find this in this liberal cesspool, did you?
Not at all, no.
That's what it is.
It's great. Democrats are the racists, and I can prove it. So can I.
Yeah. Where are you guys from?
I'm from Florida.
Yeah. So I'm interested to find out what Trump's going to say tonight. 8-minute speech. What could it be?
Oh, I'm saying, I'm a fan, but I'm thinking at least 4 minutes all about him and how he's great. And then he might get to something interesting. I don't know. We'll see.
Well, he is great.
He is. I agree.
So we might as well talk about it.
I voted for him.
I just love when he bashes everyone because he's honest.
That's right.
You know what drives me nuts, though? The minute the Democrats win, everything starts to go to shit, and they still think that it's his fault.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, I don't understand that. What part? Like, what is disconnected in your brains that you're not connecting the dots?
Everything's going to shit since
It
election
started
day?
to, yeah.
It's not that it's disconnected.
Let's see how much
About
the stock
being
market
getting
dropped.
everything for free.
Stock
all
market
they
from
care
18,700 is now 16,000. So
Because
it
of
went
the
down.
Democrat.
If it's not, I would really go.
Yes.
Doesn't have anything to do with the trade war. Doesn't have anything to do with
Not really. No.
anything else.
Not really. No. I don't want to argue about it, but
What are you doing here?
A huge portion of it was when they said what they wanted to do when they came into office, and a lot of people got afraid of what was going to happen.
But how does that explain this? If it's such a clear line, how does that explain this?
Well, the markets are always like willy-nillys anyway to begin with.
Then how can you say I've created all this wealth because the market's going up?
I don't agree
Well,
with
but
that.
when it's good, you say I did it. When it's awkward, you go,
Well, then we can get into should we even have the Fed? Because the Fed itself is illegal.
It is.
I mean, you know, since they've been in,
what's your alternative for monetary power? U.S.
backing our money by gold.
What were we doing? What we were doing
We got rid of
before the
that
Fed? What we were doing when we were the most powerful nation? Yeah, what were we doing before the Fed? We were a powerhouse.
1810.
Yes.
Before
We're not stronger now than we were in 1810.
Oh, we are so much in debt now because of the Fed. This is all phony money. This is money being printed out of thin air.
And not the rules.
So you know, this is phony money. At any time, this could be all taken away, and we could be left out here at
I don't want to. I mean, we can talk about the Fed, but I mean, I really am curious as to how. I do not understand. I listened to this guy two days last week for 90 minutes. He rambled on.
Well,
fact-free.
Give me 1 minute now.
Fact-free. No, I will. But
okay, so the Fed is not controlled by our government. The Fed is a separate entity.
I know that.
So when Trump came into office, they told him that they were going to raise the interest rate. If you look at every other presidency, they maybe raised it once a year. They've raised it 4 times in 1 year.
That's not.
8
that
times.
Is not accurate. That is not accurate.
Would you like to put money on that?
On whether they've ever raised the interest rates?
They didn't raise it at all when Obama was in office. They didn't raise it when Obama was in office. They kept that at zero. There was an artificial stimulus.
You said that's never happened before.
In
right?
1
that
year? No, not 8 times. No.
In
1 year.
In the Reagan era, when we had 18%.
It didn't all happen
mortgage
in 1 year.
It didn't happen all at once. They've raised it every quarter since he's been in, and still we've got a strong economy. We've got record employment.
But you say it's a punishment to Trump as opposed to the rules of the Fed that say when the economy.
What I'm saying is that we shouldn't have a Fed because it's not controlled by us or our government. It's controlled by a bank.
It's controlled by private entities. We don't even know who owns the damn Fed.
And I'm not going into conspiracy theories that we don't have gold in Fort Knox. We do. But it is not controlled by us as the people.
Read the monster from Jekyll Island and how the Fed was formed.
We should have a national referendum on how much money we should have. Is that how that works?
I think that it should be done by vote, not by our government. It should be by the people, not by the government. And it should be popular vote on that one.
Okay, I understand your point. Now let me come back to your man rattled on for 90 minutes twice without saying anything that was factually accurate.
I could agree with you 100% on that.
He likes to rattle off.
I think sometimes that I wish we showed.
But you don't think that's a reflection of what is going on in his mind?
Well, again, who are you listening
to? I can set that aside.
I mean, if you're listening
to him, for God's sake.
If you're listening to CNN or MSNBC, they're going to come out and tell you, I didn't say anything was true. Matter of fact, they just came out.
This is what I hate, I can judge it by looking at it my own self.
Fine, but then I'm just bringing up what the networks just.
I don't care what
just
they
came
say.
out and said. They said we're not going to cover his speech because all he's going to tell is lies. Well, how do you know that?
Because every argument has been making about terrorists coming in over the border.
And
there are terrorists coming over the border.
I'm a Trump fan, and I agree.
How many border agents have you spoken to personally?
That's true.
How many agents have you spoken to personally?
Sir,
how many agents have you spoken to?
If the government says
with me, pal. Don't talk to me like that. I ask you a question, you answer me. How many agents you spoken to?
I don't know why you're so angry.
You what? I'm supposed to be nice to you? Tell me to myself? I'm supposed to be nice to you?
Yes, because you're yelling at me.
Not before you told me to myself, baby. So you better watch your language. You want to speak to me like that? I'm going to get in your face.
What are you going to do to me?
I'm going to get in your face, you asshole. You speak to me like a man, or I'm going to get back in your face. You got that? You got it?
I don't understand what you're saying about.
Oh no, I'm supposed to let you speak to me like I'm like what? I say F you? I'm supposed to let you speak to me like that? What am I supposed to do? Whimper?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how you're supposed to.
Believe you don't know.
Seems like a little bit of an overreaction.
No. We were having a conversation, and then you.
People tell it to me all the time.
I know. I can see why.
That ain't right.
It's just common decency. Listen, a lot of what he says, I agree with 100%. And you know, you want to talk like what he was just saying.
I like to leave anything in the bulletproof vest fund. It's always appreciated.
I'd love to help people. I'd love people to come to this country. But before we do that, can we help the 500,000 homeless people? Check this fucking city.
Let me tell you my story. My great-grandfather came to this country.
I'm a fifth-generation American.
Came to this city. He had no skills. Couldn't speak English. He had no money. And that's the kind of person that you say, well, how can that possibly make a contribution?
You didn't listen to what I said. I said, I don't mind helping those people. I don't mind them coming to this country. But I would like to help the ones, the citizens
Did he
that
come
are
in
part of
legally?
this country first.
As far as I know.
There you go.
That's what I said.
But he might not have, because it was in 1890-something.
I would suspect he came in legally, but that's all we're asking is people come in legally. How do we know what people are, what diseases they have, what if they're terrorists? How do we know anything if they would just walk across the border? How do we know?
All the people that are coming through,
what about
get screened?
You can't screen people if they're sneaking across the border. We don't know who's coming across the border if they're just coming illegally.
Let me ask you a question. When I really do have a curiosity about, I saw the president say, well, look at all the other countries with walls.
Yeah.
What are they?
They don't let people in.
What are the other countries? Israel is not surrounded by a wall.
Yes, it is.
Israel is not surrounded on all sides.
It's not on all sides.
It's not surrounded by a wall, but the West Bank is completely surrounded by a wall.
Surrounded by the wall of Jericho.
I live in Israel, so...
What's your second example? China?
Doesn't matter. I don't care about any of those places. All I care about is the United States.
They're not sneaking into Mexico.
Look at all the countries that have walls. I'm saying.
But they find someone, they boot them right out. We don't do that.
Yeah, go walk into Mexico and go take care of me and see what happens.
China boots them out. China boots them out. Israel boots them out.
First of all, it's not even Mexicans that are coming over. It's all the other countries coming to Mexico. But that's not what I'm saying. I want to help them.
Well, let me ask you.
Can we help ourselves first?
Are you aware what the U.S. impact has been?
Yes, I am aware of all that.
Honduras, El Salvador, Guatemala.
Absolutely, I am.
We fucked with their government, their economy.
That still doesn't mean that we have to take them over our own citizens first. How many homeless people do you see every single day here?
I agree with that.
Who gets hurt the most by the illegal immigrants coming in? Who gets hurt the most?
Me and you.
Who gets hurt the most? I'm asking you a question.
You tell me. You know, I don't.
Well, they obviously take up what? They're uneducated for the most part. They don't speak our language. So they're going to take up the low-skilled wages jobs. Am I correct? So who is on the lower economic scale? Americans, who are the lowest economic scale? It would be the poor, black, poor whites. Am I correct? So the Democrats are wanting to go ahead and cater to the illegal aliens, allow them to come in to take the jobs away from Americans that need them most. So the black, poor Americans are the ones getting hurt the most by the Democratic policies of allowing illegal immigrants to come in.
Understand.
So they are the
we
racists.
Cater to them and take care of them. They come up to the border. They say, "I'm a refugee from."
They're coming up to what? They come up and walk over the border. There's nothing to stop them. I mean, it's fine if they go through the entrance way and they can come. What are you here for? I'm here for a work visa. Fine. Okay, great. Come on, here's your visa. Boom, come on in.
You know who Will Hurt is?
But they don't have a wall. They just walk in. You can watch pictures of them climbing over these idiot fences we got right now. I talk to people on the border from Texas. They say they've gone out, actually got tired of the illegal immigrants cutting their fences. Now they put ladders up so they could just, they don't have to go. I swear, I've seen the pictures.
Okay, but do you know
I've talked to border agents that tell me that, you know, what they're going through and what they have to put up with. And that, you know, they're finding Korans at the border for right now. They're finding dead bodies along there.
Listen, I agree. People die in that process, but...
Well, would it be better to have them come in through the legal way?
Most of them are.
What?
Most of them are.
Then what do we have 22 million illegals here for? How did they get in?
22 million?
Yes.
Here's some facts for you. So 3.5% of the American population is illegal immigrants. 54% of all murders, drug crimes, and a lot of violent crimes.
Not correct.
54% of violent crimes, drug crimes, and murders are committed by illegal immigrants.
That is not
you can look
correct.
that up, Jack. It's a fact.
It's not.
Now, let me ask you this.
Wait, hold on. You say it's not. Where's your fact that tells you it's not? Or is that just you think it's not?
Well, it's not that I don't think it, and I've read extensively.
You have the great
Well,
right
look
to
it
your
up. You
opinion.
got a cell
That's why
phone?
we live in a
I'm gonna
democratic
show
nation. But anyway, so you live around here?
No, but
Okay, well, you have a home, I'm assuming. It has 4 walls. And you would probably worry if somebody was in your house, I'm sure you'd be wanting to know who it is. Because I know damn well if somebody was in my backyard, I'd probably want to keep track of who was there. Just for my kids' sake and my family's sake. But that's what they're doing in this country.
I understand. But has anybody here ever heard of a tunnel?
What the fuck? I mean, for what?
Oh, so
Has anybody heard of Ellis
I
Island?
am serious.
Go through the process, getting naturalized like a normal person.
So a tunnel's okay? We're gonna, in other words, should we make it easy for him? Let's just open the border and say, come on in! Come on! What the hell? Don't worry about the border. I don't want you building a tunnel.
Have a good day.
Tunnels.
We'll build one in the sky and down the hill, too. How about that?
Let me ask you one question, because you asked me about if I ever talked to border agents. Do you know who Will Hurd is? Do you know who he is?
Who?
Will Hurd.
I think I've heard that name.
He's a representative that represents 900 miles of the border.
Oh, okay.
Republican, former CIA.
Okay.
He's totally opposed to the wall.
Okay, then last night I listened to the guy that was head of the border security for Obama last night. He was on Tucker Carlson. And he's all for the wall. He says, I don't understand. This is not a political issue. I says, walls work. We need them. And this is the guy that was fired by Trump. He was fired by Trump.
I get that. He's fired good people, bad people, dumb people.
Yeah, but
criminals.
you know, walls work. I mean, the walls work. Where they have built the wall already, the statistics have shown the illegal traffic has been down 95%. We're not against immigrants coming in. We're just asking you come in legally. Legally. Come on in legally. But if you have no barrier to stop them,
Barcelona.
but if you have nothing to stop people from coming in,
Which makes me Hispanic, which makes me particularly angry by the shit about all the stuff about Mexicans.
and yet I spoke to last people out here, San Salvador. A family from San Salvador, been here 19 years. He just brought his whole family up 2 years ago, but he was here for 19 years. He's all for the wall. The ones I find to be more for the wall more than anybody else are the legal immigrants that came up here, did it legally.
I understand the argument.
They're more burned by the people that are coming up illegally and then sucking off our tax dollars because we're the ones that have to pay for them. I mean, these people have to go to school, they have medical expenses, we have to be housed, they have to be fed. We're the ones paying for that. We're looking at $70,000 a year for every legal immigrant. Hell, how many people even make $70,000 a year? But we got to pay for that? Why?
See, I don't know where you get that number, but you're going to have to prove that one to me.
Look it up. It's $70,000 for every illegal immigrant. Look it up. Look it up.
It's not true, but I'm looking up the whole
Why is it not
bad
true?
fact.
Why do you say it's not true? Have you seen something that conflicts with that?
Yes.
Okay, well, then
All
show
right,
it to me.
hold on. I can only look shit up so fast, man. What's the story?
Well, you just...
I'm still arguing with the guy who's already left about crimes committed by illegals.
I mean, the fact that they came over illegally
I understand
makes
that,
them
but that wasn't his point. That wasn't his point.
That's 100% of it right there.
Oh, well, once you said that, that's...
I mean, well, once they come over illegally, you're a criminal by definition.
No, but I honestly look at this stuff. Your guy he's
Look,
unhinged.
everybody in the media says that Trump lies about everything. That's media hype.
But see, this is the thing. I already answered this one. I don't have to have somebody tell me. I can look at it from.
But you say that, but the media influences your thought patterns. I don't care what you say.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me just say. He said repeatedly, the Obamas have a 10-foot fence around their compound. You know that to be true?
Matter of fact, someone brought it up today.
Sure. Well, I've been in that neighborhood. There are no compounds, and he doesn't have a wall. There's a picture of that. And so,
matter of fact, I saw it.
Say, well, I'm influenced.
There was
by
an
the
article
media
this morning they showed the picture around Pelosi's vineyard. They showed the wall around that.
I didn't say he said Pelosi. He said Obama has a 10-foot wall around his compound.
Well, I showed construction of it, so I remember seeing a picture of that.
Well, it's just one example. It's just one example.
Walls work.
How about his analysis of the...
Do walls work? You have doors. You have walls in your house, right? For a reason, correct?
I understand.
Okay.
But let's talk about his analysis of the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan. That doesn't trouble you at all that he's mouthing a Russian line against what everybody, and myself, media aside, remember the accounts. They came in to prop up.
Well, he's talking about getting out of all these foreign wars.
That's another one.
Well, they got out.
Calls him up and says, "Will you get out of the way so I can kill the Kurds?" Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
No, but should we be in foreign wars?
The question is, once you set up like that, are you going to prove me wrong?
Borders, and that's written by the Washington Examiner, a liberal rag.
I'm not going to say something.
$70,000.
Because I am from this country. I was born here. My father was born here. My father's father.
And that's according to who?
The Washington Examiner.
The Washington Examiner's a liberal rag?
Absolutely. Well, it's not a conservative rag.
Well, fuck, it isn't. The Washington Examiner? No, seriously.
Why are you so wound up about illegals coming in? Why does that?
Yeah, why are you a champion? Why are you a champion of illegal immigrants?
Yeah, but you said something really shitty.
I mean, why are you a champion of illegal immigrants?
In my face, basically questioning my intelligence.
No, you initiated. I saw the whole thing.
What are you in favor of illegal immigrants for?
I am not in favor of illegal immigration. There is a system. It has many flaws.
Have not changed their bloodline.
But, we need to look at the whole policy, the whole range of policies, and not just build a wall and hope nobody builds a tunnel. What the whole integration system.
But why make it easy for people to come in? I don't understand why you would want to make it easy.
I don't understand when you say you mean cross the desert.
Okay. Where did they label it?
Well, I mean, if you build a wall and they have to build a tunnel, it makes it harder for them to come in, doesn't it?
I think we make it pretty hard. Plenty hard for people.
And how did we wind up with millions and millions of illegal immigrants here?
They fly and overstay their visas, for one thing.
And they walk across the border illegally.
And they fly and overstay their visas.
I can show you video after video of them. I mean, people walking across the border, and I've talked to many, many people who live on the border, where they just come over. Nothing's stopping them. We don't know who these people are.
And it's just not a wall either. There's other components to the immigration reform that Trump's pushing.
Well, can we do our pictures with the...
That's what I got it there for, though. Whatever you want to put in, dear. Okay. All right, brother man. It's always a pleasure.
What do I do? Get in the middle?
Take care.
All right. All right, this conversation continues on the other side. You recognize one group, one family from the conversation. And if you noticed earlier, the black guy was hanging out for a little while on the other side, but he didn't engage. Well, he engaged on the opposite side. So it's when I flipped over and turned on the cameras on this side. So the conversation continues. And if you like this, you know what to do. Of course, keep on doing it. Hit the share if you care. Hit the subscribe button and go purchase something so you can keep me out there, all right? I appreciate it very much. And if you'd like to give, that PayPal account is waiting for you. Here we go.
It happened already. Not all of them. And under.
They did. That's why they all signed.
You have the right to contract. Not everybody agrees. You also have the right to be or not be a citizen.
Yes, exactly.
I don't want to be a citizen. Then what are you here? Because I can. You know, again, in the United States.
But see, that's what Trump
being a debt slave. You are indebted to be a slave.
And that is what
slave. You don't agree with it?
No, that is what Trump is.
They take all your.
And that is what Trump
take more taxes than what they actually need. They steal your money and feed these corporations and stuff like that, like NASA.
No, first off,
he's not going with a party.
No government. First off,
parties.
No government is perfect.
I can agree with that.
It has corruption. But to say that you don't want to be a citizen, but you want to be in America, that is the
we shouldn't have a tax on what we earn, and it's illegal to begin with.
Women. Yes.
Nowhere in the Bible or nowhere anywhere else does it say he created United States citizens. Nowhere.
But way before this,
which Bible?
There was a Roman Empire. There was empires.
Any of them. All of them say man and woman. Every last law that they have in these books today, the United States of America, they do not say anything in there that says it has to do with man and woman. It all says persons, but in the Bible, I'm allowed to have a slave, which is a corporation, which is a monster, which is not a natural blooded, skin breathing human being. It's all corporations, just like the United States. All it's all corporations. All right, we're good.
It's all dead
entities.
Don't they mention states in the?
No, they don't. No, but if we're going to go by the Bible, then
Trump needs to get out of here. When people want to be in this country to take over jobs and stuff like that, but they don't want to be a citizen. They don't want to speak English. Why are they here?
Yeah. So what?
The real true law of the land. All these man-made laws are actually man-made laws.
So if we want to go,
wait. God already made everything perfect.
So then it's survival to finish, right? That's what you're saying. That it's survival to finish. So if I wanted your shoes, I could just kill you and take your shoes.
That's the crime.
Render unto Caesar what is.
That's why I have the crime is stipulated
to have. But crime is stipulated by the laws of this land.
Render unto Caesar what is Caesar's.
You're exactly right on that. I heard of that one too. But this is not Caesar's to begin with, though, right?
Governments aren't fact of life. We can't actually, say they aren't. They exist. Mm-hmm. The point is, what kind of government are we willing to put up with?
Right, but you have the right to govern yourself, though, right?
No.
Yes, you do.
No.
You have the right to contract. You don't have.
I feel that
if you don't agree with any part of the contract, contracts are mutual. Contracts are seen that you can say, no, I don't agree to that part. No, I don't want to be a part of that.
Well,
you have the right to contract. If you don't agree,
it's the consensus.
That is the original precept of what this government is supposed to do: is to make sure contracts held between people are upheld. Thank you. You're absolutely right on this.
But it's a consensus.
And basically, the basic law.
You're wrong. No, it doesn't have to be everybody that has to be in it.
So if you believe a certain law shouldn't be, then then it's okay.
Yep.
That law doesn't affect
because you know what?
Everybody else
it's
does.
Not what if you don't know your rights, you don't have any. And these courts and these corporations, the laws and everything, there are so many laws that are in books that is just bogus, and all they want is they want your money.
I can guarantee
so if you don't have, if you don't agree with it, and you don't. If you know your rights just basically and you say, no, I don't want that, you can go and fight that all the way up to all the courts until you get it right, until you win. Because they're going to say, they're going to tell you you're wrong on the lower court levels.
They can tell you you're wrong on the
when you get up to the higher ones, you can actually win those cases.
There's a lot of
unless they're corrupted.
But there's a lot of cases that wins, like right to travel and all kinds of other stuff that are in the books that you can go look at right now. Just because it's in law doesn't mean.
Are you talking about like laws and things like that?
Legal is not lawful. It's not 100% right. Just because it's the legal system doesn't give them the power.
What was the original precept? What was the original concept of law?
He doesn't agree with that either, though.
What was the original concept?
God's law. You drop something.
Besides man's law on this planet.
The original concept of law is if you drop this, the law of gravity. Not even gravity.
If I may,
God's law. They try to act like they're
if I may,
gravity.
I know you're right. You're right in that aspect, but I'm bringing it up in this aspect when we're talking about laws, legislative laws.
Good to meet you.
It's a pleasure, guys.
You guys have a good year. Yep, likewise.
When we talk about legislative laws that we have that we ourselves, agree to abide by. The original was, as long as you aren't hurting someone else or someone else's property,
My man.
Right.
That's what people don't understand.
And it should
all the other ones
thank you, are bullshit.
Are bullshit. Because nowhere in does it say man and woman has to abide by it. It says corporations.
I agree with them. They've corrupted the process by adding more and more and more and more and more and more on.
And it's all about money.
Of course it is. We know that. We know
it's right here, and you're breaking the law.
Money and power. We know what the hell the corruption is, where it's come from. We've seen this before throughout history.
Yeah. See,
it's not a mystery.
Studied so much and so much.
It's obvious.
So much and so much, where I was just it really got me ticked off to a point.
Yes, it should.
And
I mean, if you're not paying, you're angry. You're not paying attention.
And the average citizen that thinks they knows it all, and
well,
they don't. They
welcome
don't.
to my world.
They don't. They don't. That's why with the border thing.
Are you local?
No, I'm out of Oregon on the West Coast.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now with the border thing, to a certain extent, I believe that there should possibly be something for these people, for us here, But building a wall and kind of, there's people that wants to have a better life.
We're not arguing that. That's not the argument.
Yeah.
The argument is, just like you have walls on your door, on your house and a door, you got to know who's coming in.
Yeah.
I am not. Listen, we were built on immigrants. You hear that over and over again.
Yeah.
My family was immigrants. Whether you probably didn't, maybe not came over. Your people ancestors, maybe not, by their own will, but they got here.
Ooh. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I just thought of something.
Yeah, but the idea now is that the idea is just come in legally. I mean, the idea of just having no wall where anybody can walk across, and we have no way of knowing who they are, what they're doing here.
But it's just like starting the marijuana laws, right? They locked up all the people that was.
Well, when we get there, I'm totally.
Marijuana.
Listen, when we get there, man,
now,
I think the only drug that should be illegal is devil's breath.
Well, I'm just trying to
make a point. That's that date drug. But go ahead.
I'm just trying to make a point. All the laws that had marijuana that people got locked up on from smoking or had growing or whatever. Well, now, it's the same. It's the same thing now. Well, a lot of states are actually okaying the use of marijuana.
Well, you should, fine.
But it's medical, which is hybrid.
And there's a lot of them doing it.
Harming you in a bit. It's not made by God. It's made by scientists. So it's just another thing.
Do you know who bought up most of the pot growing lands over the past decade?
No, I don't.
Monsanto.
I believe it. I believe it.
So, no, and as far as I'm concerned, I'm completely libertarian with this. When you get to legal age, what you put in your body is your own business, and the government should have no problem. What we should do is educate people to what each drug does to you. And then you have if you're dumb enough to go out and do the drugs that harm you, go ahead and do it. Kill yourself.
Well, the problem is they want people to. That's why they make the stuff. They know what it does. They
want us drug.
They studied all.
They want us drug. Thank you.
That are
who introduced the drugs to the?
They know the side effects.
To the ghettos, which is CIA. Who brought in crack cocaine? Was the CIA.
It was the CIA.
Thank
you.
Then
they lock them up.
Yeah. They want us drug. They don't want us paying attention.
Good thing that you made that point, because they normally put. What do you have in the hoods? You got liquor stores and churches
and abortion clinics.
And that's another one. Yeah, I'm gonna add that to my list, to my memory Rolex there. But most of that's all you have. And then they feed you all the poisons in those communities. But you go to the suburbs or whatever you call it, where the people that makes enough money, right? Where you got to pay $30,000 in taxes in some nice areas. You can't live in those areas, right? But then they get nice.
Yeah, but they're fed a whole nother realm of propaganda. It's a whole different
everything is a lie, man.
You see that
everything is a lie.
You see this there, right? They lie.
You're missing some stuff on there. But NASA, what about NASA? What do you think about NASA?
NASA's
are you hipped on them?
Oh, of course, they got the biggest black budget going.
Oh yeah, they take all your federal income money and it goes right to them. They got the biggest budget ever.
Yeah, they got the biggest black budget going.
They got it, in Mississippi or Louisiana or something like that. They got one of those little space stations there. As soon as I drove in, it says, as soon as I traveled in, I hate using that dry term. It says no cameras, no cell phones. But yeah, it's another lie. That should be added on there too.
Yeah, well, I just use the news agencies there. If I were at the government agencies, I wouldn't have enough room.
You wouldn't have enough room. You have to have all of those.
Yeah.
All right, man. It's good meeting you.
Yeah, it's a pleasure, brother.
Oh yeah, U.S. National. Yeah. U.S. National. That's what I should have said to those guys.
You're very hip to what's going on.
U.S.
Who are you listening to get your news? Who do you listen to?
What was that? Freedom from Government, or there's a place out of Hawaii that sells stuff, little stuff that you can read upon. And I started getting stuff from them. But my dad was a real health freak. And he would bring lectures into town and all kinds of stuff like that. So that's where I got my jump on it, and I started studying and figuring stuff out. But once I heard that you have the right to contract, well, that means that everything else is you have the right to say no to. You know what I'm saying? So that just opened my eyes right up there. And when I saw that there's no man or no woman in any law books, you can't find it. Because if you find it,
well, now they got different things, the gender thing going on. Now you can be a,
Well, yeah. What you got there for me?
So get out of jail free card from Hillary Clinton.
All right, yo.
All right, brother.
Next time I get pulled over.
I actually had some girl tell me she got out of it.
I might need a couple of those.
Yeah, actually I had a girl tell me she got out of a ticket. She got stopped by a roadblock. She didn't have a license on her. She showed the cop that. He laughed so hard he said, "Get out of here." See what you started?
What's that?
See what you started?
Who are you talking about?
Yo, you bum, you.